Hello. So obviously I'm not in the same location I have been in. I thought it would be fun to do a get ready with me. Um, my students that have found my channel have kind of requested it, and I was kind of planning on doing one anyway. And I thought it would be fun to do one today because it's homecoming week and it's color day, and so the staff are supposed to wear blue. Hence all the blue that I'm wearing. I do also have a blue jacket I'll be putting over this. Um, One of the interesting things about homecoming week as a staff member is, I guess I just jumped right in there. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do my makeup and talk. I'm not gonna it's not a tutorial. And this is actually looking so bad on camera right now, but it's not, I promise, as I blend it out. So, and I suppose this differs from school to school that you're at, but homecoming as a staff member has been super different for me, especially because, like, I didn't go to, a huge school, but I went to, a larger school when I was in high school, and so there was, a homecoming committee that did everything, and, so I, as a student, didn't have to do a whole lot other than, participate and show up, which was super fun, and I loved that. And so, well, first of all, even as a student and where I am right now is smaller, and so the students are the ones doing everything. They're decorating, they're planning, they're voting on everything. So even for today, for example, for color day, they got to vote on what color they wanted to be, and they were all thinking of it super practically, what color do we have the most of? Whereas where I went to school, all the days were set every year. So freshmen wore green, and sophomores wore yellow, and juniors wore orange, and seniors wore blue. And here they get to vote. So the colors I think are black, white, gray, and then the seniors are pink, which I guess is a tradition. And so that was really strange for me personally. Another strange thing for me was just how much decorating everyone does, and so they all pick a theme and make sure that well, there's an overall homecoming theme that I think the student council decides, and then they each class gets to vote on what their theme within that theme is, I guess, if that makes sense. And then they decorate their hallway or their float, or shop windows, I think, is a thing too, to match their theme, and then it's competition and all of that, which I think that part's pretty normal in general as far as the making sure, well, not making sure, that it's a competition. I've never tried to talk this much and do my makeup at the same time, so if I'm a little all over the place, that's why. So, but anyway, because it's a smaller school, at least I'm guessing that's why, there is just a lot of staff involvement and a lot of student involvement. So I am one of the freshman class advisors, and so I was in charge of the hallway decorating committee, which I had no idea what was going on because I'm new, and so, and then they had no idea what was going on because they're freshmen and it's new to them too for the most part. And so that was kind of oh man, what's going on? And it was kind of a mess, to be honest. I mean, they pulled through. Their hallway decoration looked really nice. I gave my input, but it's definitely a lot of them arguing and trying to figure out what they want and not really knowing what's going on or how to reconcile that. I know one of the big things was the hallway they have is a little bit shorter than some of the other classes' hallway, but they have more wall space because there's less other stuff taking up space on the walls. Like lockers. There's no lockers. And so they were like, we have not enough wall space. We don't have it much. So they didn't plan a ton. And I tried to be like, well, you have more than you think you do. But anyway, so then what else is different for me is that they had like a whole day to be like decorating and doing stuff. So like we didn't have any classes on Monday this week, and they just decorated all day. And so that was different because I'm used to like homecoming week being fun and exciting, and your dress up days are fun and exciting and all of that, but you're still like having normal class. So that is something that was different for me. And then I was like supervising kids decorating all day. And so I had heard mixed things from different teachers about like what, how they go about it. And for me, or well, for several people, they're like, oh, I mostly just like work on grading or like schoolwork or whatever I need to do, and I say stay near them, sit near them, so that they can work and ask questions as needed, but I can get stuff done. And I was like, okay, perfect. Like the kids will be mostly in my classroom getting their decorations ready, and then they'll move out into the hallway, and maybe like I can move out into the hallway once they do that. But it was really more like there was kids in my classroom and in the hallway and just everywhere, and it was chaos, and I did not get anything done, which of course my job is to make sure that they're doing fine and answering questions. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but just a lot of new, a lot of different. And so we never, when I was in high school, we never like decorated the hallway or did anything like that. So that was just kind of a crazy day, absolute chaos. Like, wasn't the worst day in the world, but definitely not my favorite. I'm glad that it's like a once a year thing. What else is different? I guess just the fact that I like had to be involved with so much of the like planning, at least with the freshmen, because like I said, I was used to having like a committee and just being able to participate, and I think there's fun to both. I definitely like don't feel like it's taking away from the experience to not have everyone do everything, but it's definitely more of a headache to have everyone do everything. That doesn't make it like bad. I guess another thing that I'm not used to, that I guess this is more popular from what I've heard, is that like the kids will go like TP each other's houses every not every night, but several nights of the week. And that's just like a thing that they do too. So I never did that. I don't think anyone ever did that. But okay, so to be honest, I was also just a oblivious high school kid. But I think I would have noticed if people had been TPing houses. I hope. I guess as a staff member, like, homecoming just involves a lot of supervision, and I think that's probably the biggest difference is, like, yes, we get to participate in the dress-up days and have fun and I know at the pep rally on Friday that there's going to be, like staff competition and stuff like that, which I'm really excited for. I'm curious to see what they have us do, because that is not something that the staff helped plan. At least not that I'm aware of. Like, I don't think the students planned it, but I think it was the, like, student council advisor that did that, and maybe student council. I don't know. Either way, but yeah, so it's been kind of nuts. Well, and of course, like, because I didn't know that they take the whole day on Monday to decorate, in my planning, I had us having class that day. So then like a couple weeks ago when I learned that they didn't have class at all that day, I had to go revamp everything, which since I had a couple weeks wasn't a big deal, but definitely not conducive, I guess, to what I was used to, especially because I am used to like teaching 90-minute periods, and I only have 47 minutes here, which is fine. It's not the big deal. I think I've made an okay adjustment. I guess my students could tell you better, but I've made an okay adjustment to that, but that also means there was some things that I think I was trying to get through faster than what was plausible, which I ran into with my sophomores. We like plowed through this book and read so much of this book every day, and I think the thing that I'm most disappointed in myself with over it is that like I think that I picked a book that they would have genuinely enjoyed, but because we like there was just so much reading every single day with it, and like we couldn't even get through half of that reading when I was like reading it out loud in class with them, that they just like couldn't even stand the sight of the book or talking about it or anything, because we just went through it so fast. And so that's a bummer, because if we would have went through it slower, I think they would have genuinely enjoyed it. That was Nickel and Dimed, in case you are wondering. It's by Barbara Ehrenreich, and it's just very it's very interesting, and we got through it. They, I don't think, hate me, but they certainly were freaking out for a while there, but I have reassured them since that we will go through the next book slower, and they just got their Lit Circle books, their memoirs, and they will be able to read those slower, so that is good. I am glad about that. And hopefully they'll enjoy them more then, too. Because I think it's a lot harder to enjoy a book that you're being rushed through. Even me as like someone who loves to read and like enjoyed reading stuff for class, I can understand not wanting like to just plow through something and like take your time and enjoy it a little bit. It also took away from like class discussion. Like I don't think we even talked about the book enough, like personally. It was very much like, gotta get to the next thing, and so when we get to the next book, like full class book, there'll definitely be much more discussion and things like that to go with it. Yes, I know. Lots of blue, lots of blue. It is color day, and I embrace that. But yeah, it's been a little crazy this week. From a behavior standpoint, from a just like the week is shorter now because of Monday decorating, and on Friday is a partial day because of the pep rally. And so planning can be difficult, because that's the other thing is like, so because they're all 45-minute periods, rather than like shorten every class period, we're only doing some of our classes on Friday. And so I have some of my freshman classes in the morning and some in the afternoon, and I have some of my sophomore classes in the morning, some in the afternoon. And I'm not exactly sure when they're like cutting the half day yet. So it'll be like my classes will not all be on the same page unless I kind of make the day like basically us not doing a whole lot, which isn't productive either, because then I'm like, 45 minutes of nothing. So that's not helpful either. So I guess we'll have to play it by ear and see what we do. But I know at least for the freshmen, they already have the reading schedule for their books, so it's not too bad. I guess for the sophomores too, because they're going to be working on reading their Lit Circle book. Me just solving the Friday issue on camera. Okay. I'm sorry if you wanted to see me like talk about each of these things, but I just don't. It's already a struggle to do this on camera, not because I like don't want to do it on camera or I like it's because it's hard to talk and do things at the same time. So, oh, another thing that's been crazy is because we have like a rotation for who has detention duty every day. I have or not every day, but every week. And so I have detention duty this week also, so on top of like trying to figure out what's going on for homecoming and all of that stuff. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. I also have detention duty, which has been a new experience as well, which I mean is really just making sure they're doing schoolwork while I sit there and like grade. But this is so weird, but like having detention duty feels a little bit like being in detention yourself, except for you didn't do anything to be there. But that is clearly not the case because I'm sure they have other behavioral repercussions besides sitting in detention. And from like families or parents or whatever else there might be. I know that you're technically not supposed to like grab your face when you're doing this, but I just do it as gently as possible and try not to mess up my eyeliner because I would rather have a couple extra wrinkles later on than have to redo all of my makeup because my eyeliner turned out bad. I also feel like I'm kind of rushing right now because I don't want this video to be like 45 minutes, and I don't think it will be. What are we at, 17? And I realized that I could probably find a way to edit this so this part goes faster and stuff like that, but I don't know how to edit things. Okay, that's not true. I have not edited things in a long time, and I don't really see a need to edit something that much, and honestly I have a lot of grading to do because I got a lot of essays and narratives submitted on Friday, and so I have to get going on those. Well, that's just like, and I'm like, I already knew this because I've experienced this, but one of the things that I think is funny is like kids will spend like 2.5 weeks working on a paper in class, and then the like day after they submit it they ask when it's going to be done being graded. Which, like, I get it. I want to get them their work as soon as possible, and I do try and work on that, but also like my sanity is important. So trying to get them there. I don't know what I was gonna say. That's all right. But can you imagine like grading 120 essays and narratives in one night? Like, your brain gets, for my students watching out there, and people that maybe just don't know, but like after reading like 10, your brain is like fried. So I have about 60 of each, 60 essays, 60 narratives, roughly. Not quite that, especially because, you know, some didn't turn theirs in, and some classes have not quite 60, but I have about that many of each, so I'm hoping to get through like between 5 to 10 of each day, and that might be ambitious, but we're going to see what we can do. Because I want to get those done before I get more assignments from them. And I will have more assignments from them fairly quickly. So, because that's what we do. We learn and assess their learning. I'm sure that they're like, no, like, you don't need to give us assignments. We don't want to do them anyway. But we have this time at the end of the day every day where, like, there are kids that are assigned to our room for like an hour to work on schoolwork, and usually it's because they like have something missing from my class or are failing or not doing as well or something like that, and so it's so we can give them extra help. And they're assigned to our class for the week. But oh, this is so weird. I can't talk and do this at the same time, sorry. Okay. Okay, I think I've gotten far enough that I can talk again. But so there's a group of students assigned to my room each week, and a lot of the kids that were assigned to my room last week are assigned to my room again this week, and I'm not sure why that is, because I thought it was gonna like rotate, and so a lot of them are like, why am I still in here? Because they've, gotten in their assignments or whatever else it might be. So that's also been kind of a battle this week, and I'm not sure how much of that is it's homecoming week and they don't want to sit there for an hour after all their classes and do more work, or if and not with the same teacher that they had last week when they could be elsewhere, but or if it's because it's homecoming week, but that's what's going on this week. That might have been a little rambly, and it might have just been a lot of information you already know, but that's where I'm at. Oh, I almost forgot to use highlighter. Gotta do that. I will say I have the camera my phone, propped up right now on a stuffed animal in front of my mirror that has lights on it, and that is what I'm using, and it's working out pretty well, I think. You probably can't even see a lot of what I'm doing. I mean, obviously the lipstick and eyeshadow and stuff, but you probably can't even see all the little blush and whatever else that I put on that much because it's on camera, and most people are not doing as much makeup as what the beauty gurus do on camera, which isn't if you do, it's fine, but most people don't need that level of intensity for everyday life. And I'm already a little bit extra for everyday life, but that's fine. That's just who I am. I have this setting spray, and I don't know if the thing works as well as it's supposed to, but that's all right. Oh, I forgot to normally I powder more than I did, but that's okay. I'll just get my ears a little. Oh, that's the thing. Why doesn't everyone ever powder their ears? You put foundation on your ears so that everything matches, but why aren't you powdering it? And your neck too. Anyway, I think that's enough of me just blabbing about homecoming stuff that half of you are like, that's normal, and here I am, blue and ready for the day. I put on my jacket, and I think that is all. So if you're watching, thanks for watching, and I guess see you next time. Bye.